fun. Alright, well, either way. So we are back here on the Mana Symbol channel on this beautiful Sunday in sunny Ontario, Canada. The grass is green, the birds are singing, and it's time for a little more Kinnan with Urza. So Jiggy was thinking, you know what, let's finally go to the dark side. The last couple times we played the mid-range version of the Kinnan Uroza deck, which features no interaction in the main deck other than permanent-based interaction like Wrenn and Six ticking down, Karn, and things you can fetch out of the Wishboard. This one has elected to play the dirty game of interaction by playing 4 copies of Galvanic Blast, 4 copies of Force of Negation, and 3 copies of Cryptic Command. Along with those changes, the idea to throw Mystic Sanctuary into the mana base has been kicking around for a long time. We were able to resist doing so for a good long while because we didn't have any instants or sorcery in the main deck that we wanted to get back. This made us more resilient against boil and choke strategies, and just generally meant that your main deck was of a higher power level overall. You have a lot of do-nothing artifacts that are not particularly great to top deck in the late game, and so we are now pairing those with cards like Galvanic Blast or Force of Negation, which top decking that could be less than fantastic in the late game. On top of the fact that Urza Lord High Artificer, his activation, is much better in a deck that is almost entirely permanents. That said, it does seem like the metagame has shifted in such a respect that interaction is pretty necessary in your main deck. The Goblin combo deck is a real bear unless you have a shock or otherwise in your main deck, and just the Wrenn and Sixes, just the Karns didn't seem to be doing enough, didn't seem to be coming in fast enough. To that end, we've pushed it in this direction, which makes it a lot more similar to the classic Uroza, but we do have some awesome versions that we're going to be playing later this week, including one version that Jiggy also has already 5-0'd with Stoneforge Mystic. And on top of that, we're going to be trying new versions with either Teamer White playing the Thopter Sword combo or Sultai Red or Teamer Black playing Thopter Sword combo on that side. So we will see. We'll see how all of that works out later on this week on the Mana Symbol channel. Of course, after this deck, we're going to be playing a classic Iceberg control. We're not playing the classic versions that we've been playing on this channel. Someone did 5-0 recently with a version that was a bit different. So we're going to be using that one. It's a 61 card list, which is always fun. And we get to play one of my favorites, Brisefall. All right. Match numero uno. Let's go. Let's go. Uh-oh. Got the wrong frame. Hold on a second. There we go. Should have the right frame now. What is up, Brian? On the die roll. What do I like to play first? You betcha. Where's my new sound effect? Alright. Looks like a pretty unkeepable first one. That's alright. So we're going to ship this one. Oh, that's not great, but it's certainly better. I'm inclined to keep this one and try to hit one of my wonderful fetch lands. So I'm going to keep this one. It's awkward on the play, but I think there's enough draws that get us out of this. And just landing an early Wrenn and Six is not the worst thing in the world. Depending on what we're up against it, we might have time to get to the next stage of our plan here. Got a few minutes baby free. Oh, that's got to be a relief, I'm sure. As much as the baby is going to be a wonderful addition to your life, I'm sure. It's a lot of time and energy. Vesper Lark into Aether Vial. Alright, so not the fastest start from my opponent on the super grindy Elementals deck. We are immediately paid off for our keep here. I want to start getting some value off of this right away. Against the Elementals deck, I'm going to be slightly aggressive with my life total. Just ever so slightly. Only slightly. Only slightly. Play Wrenn and Six. And we pick up the Polluted Delta. Oh, that needs to come down. It's also really long. I forgot how long that clip was going to be. Okay, this is all good, although I guess I can nuke that. And then this is good, this is good, this is good. Alright. Double Aether Vial. Yikes. Man, this Karn might be a little bit of fun here. Not sure. Not sure. Is Karn gonna be good on this board? Yes, no. Please answer in the form of a haiku. Okay. I have a potential for 2 mana this turn. But either way, I want to have this Polluted Delta in my hand before I play my Udo. Python of Nature's Wrath. So if we flip, we did not pick up an Emry, which I was hoping for. So we'll just put the Delta down, and then the Delta is going to get me a Ketria Triome. And then I believe the way this sideboard is set up, it has a... Does it have a Pithing Needle? It does not. Okay. We do have engineered explosives, which is not going to kill the Aether Vials right away, but soon and for the rest of their lives. What we do need to watch out for is they're going to be starting to be able to play Risen Reef this turn and get their like grotesque value train rolling. Yeah, like that. So Risen Reef has a trigger whenever Risen Reef or another elemental enters the battlefield. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you can put it onto the battlefield tapped, and if you don't, put the card onto the battlefield. Yeah. Thunderkin Awakener has haste. 1/2 with haste, and every time it attacks, they are able to put a elemental creature card from their graveyard with toughness less than Thunderkin Awakener's toughness onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and then they sack it at end of turn, which is a very, very powerful combination with Lightning Skelemental. Luckily for us, we get to ping off this Risen Reef with Wrenn and Six, and then we'll see how much we can lock down the rest of their board with a Karn, I guess. So I definitely think I'm starting by doing this. Although Thunderkin Awakener is just going to be able to bring that back, so maybe not the best idea there, but I guess making them use their trigger on that is somewhat useful. So if I play a land, and then I play Uro, I can put another land down and use my Springleaf Drum. So I can do that and then play Karn, because we'll have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, cool. I won't have any mana left over afterwards, but I want to say Ensnaring Bridge is really, really good in this matchup. So we might just be going down that road. Turning off both their Aether Vials until they attack down my Karn is also pretty valuable, and they don't currently have enough power to kill Karn or Wrenn and Six. So I think that's the road we're going to go down right here. It's also potential that Uro picks up something else that I want to play. I can't imagine what it would be, but it's possible. Don't count out the Uro. Nope. So we're good here. Just going to add the mana. Uro dies. Let me play my good friend Karen. She's going to talk to the manager for me. Ooh, that's a new one. That's a new bug. Wow, I've never seen anything like that. Wow, wow. All right, so what? How? What do I do? Help! Ooh, I got a grippy hand now. I got all sorts of bugs going on. I can pan? What is this? Why can't I pan? Is this new? Why is this new? Oh, I don't like it. It's new and strange. I'm confused and aroused. I actually think I'm misquoting that. I think it's Lila. You're confused and aroused. So you can give high fives to your opponent. Yes! High five, little Thunderkin. Boo! Boo boo! They're making MTGO a friendlier place to play. I always thought it was friendlier than Magic Arena, to be perfectly honest. How many friends have you ever made playing Magic Arena? If you're like me, the answer is 0. But I have made friends and acquaintances by playing MTGO. And I literally mean, like, I messaged someone in the chat at the beginning of the match. We messaged each other during the match, and then afterwards we talked to each other more. Hooked up, went out for drinks, and I don't want to spoil the ending, but at a midnight rendezvous, I would say. All right, so where are they putting all this? They're definitely going to kill Karn, I would imagine, which will unlock their Aether Vials. Yeah, and then... Oh, it's just all Karn? Sure, I guess that makes sense. So I have to play out my hand this turn in order to make sure that my bridge is going to be fully active. I already have enough mana for that, so we just have to look out for what card we draw here. There are a couple of cards in my deck that will make this next turn awkward, but not too many. Sack Vesperlark. So when Vesperlark leaves the battlefield, so that's actually a really sick combo with Thunderkin Awakener. So some variety of Graveyard Hate is probably warranted somewhere along the line here. In my sideboard, I know I have Tormod's Crypt. It's not really what I'm looking for this one, but I do have a Spyglass in the sideboard, which may prove effective. Okay, so I haven't played land yet this turn, so I can use the Delta for that if I want to. I don't really want to ping down any of their creatures. Oh, maybe I did want to ping down the Risen Reef because these Thunderkin Awakeners are not going to be able to attack this turn, which is going to reduce their effectiveness by just a scotch, but we'll see how that works out. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, cool. So I just need to not use Karn to get a card into my hand, and then we're good. Play the bridge, and we play the Karn, and we're good to go. What do you got? What? Can I disable this panning thing, or what am I supposed to do with this? Do I have to, like, get rid of my combat log and my chat? Like, I don't understand, like, what I'm supposed to do with this. I don't. Why is this a thing that is happening in this way? I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I'm just not. What you got? Mariner, sure. Any Iron Maiden fans? No? Maybe it wasn't a very accurate. Ooh, wow. They got all the value cards coming out here. Skelemental, sure. Hear the rhyme of the ancient mariner. Alright. I guess I can get my Tormod's Crypt and put it into play. Might as well. Yeah. Let's do it. As he stops 1 of 3. Do-do-do, hear the rise of the wedding guest. The nightmares of the sea. And the ship sails on into the dawn. Through the fog and ice, and the mariner carries on. It's been a long time since I've listened to the entirety of that. I need to fix that ASAP. I could put together a MIDI version that we could probably play on stream and get away with that. Alright, they have to have an out in their deck of some variety. Spite Bellows is the one that hits creatures, right? Flicker Wisp. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, okay, so Karn's gonna die. Bye, Bridge. I haven't seen Flicker Wisp in the Elemental deck in a little while. Well, we're not gonna die. Might get a little bit beat up here. But we are gonna be able to exile their Lightning Scale Elemental and their Vesper Lark. We lose our Karn, we keep our Wrenn and Six, and the Bridge is coming back, so I'll go through their albums again out of spite. Hey, I forgot that I didn't realize you were still here, etc. This is definitely not my fault. This can't be my fault. I don't believe it. Wow, that is a lot of Thunderkin Awakeners. Are they trying to draw another Lightning Scale Elemental, I guess? Probably. Yeah, you can attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're attacking for 6. It's really not particularly threatening. Yeah, they want to kill Karn and Wrenn and Six? No, they can't do both. Yeah, they just don't quite have enough. But they do get to knock my Wrenn and Six down. Yeah, it's cool. I'm not going to let you get any of these things. I just wanted you to use the triggers. Oh, no! I forgot that Unsettled Mariner does that. Huh. You always get got by that card. Not you, the audience. I always get got by that card. Well, it just does such unintuitive things because it's all your permanents, so it's not just your creatures. It also does your lands. And then it also does you, which is very disconcerting. I mean, it's not really that big of a blowout here because I'm just going to get cracked in the head for 6, 7, 8. I mean, they get more value, but that was going to happen no matter what. It was unsettling, yes. I would say that. I might do. So, oh, they can also kill the Wrenn and Six if they want to. They did not. Okay. So they got an extra 8 damage on me out of it, and now I don't have a Torment Script, but I'm going to have my Bridge next turn, so I just have to watch out for the running Flicker Wisps. And now their Vials are active again, which is less than great for me. The Elementals deck, every time I run into it, it feels like it's going to be a joke, but they're really grindy. I wish I had a way to deal with this board problem. I don't understand what this is about, why the UI is like this now. Can I auto size cards? There we go. Okay. Maybe I unchecked that at some point by accident. Oh, I was messing with the card size late on stream the other day. No, it was off stream. Late off stream. Oh, I should have drawn the card with Mishra's Bauble. Oh, well. So... Oh, I can get an Uro back. That's probably helpful. I could also Mystic Sanctuary here, but I don't have anything to do with it, so... Green, more green, blue, blue. Udo. We're going to leave the Tormod's Crypt if I can. I cannot. That's fine. If I get another Karn, I'll be able to get it anyway. And then we'll also be able to... I could put Urian in my hand this turn. It's possible we will not. Let's see. Let's not draw land. Yeah, that is one of the best possible draws there. Okay, so got my Uro. Get my Emry. Lurker of the Loch. Oh, what did they put on top with their... Oh, it should be in the revealed zone. Another Flicker Wisp. Shit. Alright. I don't think we're going to die immediately. But the Flamekin Harbinger definitely makes things a little bit more awkward. It means that 8 that I took last turn is going to become more significant pretty quickly. I put Cryptic on top. Aha! Okay, so we can put the Cryptic on top with this Mystic Sanctuary and then Bauble them and pick it up. So they won't be able to attack me now. Actually, I think they're Cryptic locked. Yeah. So now they have multiple axes on which they need to deal with me, which is great. Hold on. I need to pay for this. I need to pay for this. Ooh! Thank you for the follow, Mean Lizard. Yes, I will pay the one. This time I need to. Voice of Resurgence is on top. That's fine. So I've actually got double Cryptic Lock going here. So thank you, Jiggy, for this version that is able to do the thing that I need to. What is a 4-drop elemental? Sorry, I'm Omnath. What are you doing with that? Shooting me in the face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's terrifying. What's the text on this? When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target elemental you control. If you control 8 or more lands, draw a card. So then this is going to trigger the Omnath? No, they don't have enough lands yet. But this is the Flicker Wisp on my bridge. But that's fine, because I have a stop on their beginning of combat. So the thing where... Oh, no, they're flickering the Omnath. This is what I was thinking. I was like, do they have a way to burn me out? And yes, they do. So I'm just dead here. I just took like 16 damage in one go thanks to that. That's insanity. Okay. Elemental deck has a lot of reach. It's funny, too, because I think the Omnath is a one-of. I don't know if it's funny, but like... And maybe it's more than that now. This deck is really resilient. They grind hard, and it's very, very difficult for me to keep track of all the different ways they can interact and bring things back over and over and over again. I think I want some Aether Gusts. This seems like a bit of a tough one. The Force of luckily, the fact that I have 4 Force of Negations in my deck didn't come up there. I'm wondering if they're boarding in something that is going to make that an issue, but I don't really think I have time to worry about it. I guess I should keep some of these because my sideboard is not well set up for this, but my main deck is reasonably well set up, so we might be able to pull through. Man, you didn't say nah. That's true, I didn't. So we'll try to not punt into their Unsettled Mariner again this game. Yeah, I think we're all right here. They will have the artifact destroying evoke spirit, which is not Spite Bellows. Spite Bellows is the one that deals damage, but there is a spirit with evoke that destroys an artifact. It's like the smelt or shatter. Yeah, this is a much better hand than anything we've seen so far. I might have the problem of having to engineered explosives my Astrolabe and or drum, but that will be a worthy sacrifice. Opponent mulls to 5. Yikes. Yikes and a half. Okie dokie. I really hope they kept a hand on the strength of like Aether Vial. Mox Amber. Perhaps. We do need more lands going on. Otherwise. Yes. Soul Guide Lantern. Dental Plan. Land? That's not a land. Okay, I think I'm interested in just playing Springleaf Drum into fetch Ketria Triome and hope that we hit another land or a Kinnan. Kinnan would make my next turn like maximum overdrive. Which I assume is a good movie? I have no idea, to be honest. I wish I could counter that while it was on the stack. Oh well. Alright, well, we're going to see what they're interested in. It's probably Risen Reef? Yeah, it's Risen Reef. I can gust a Risen Reef? I can. Okay, good to know. Delaying their value train is super good. Let's see what we pick up here. So, that's a card and a half. Yeah. Well then. So, and then, so I might. Do I need to play my EE on 0? No, I could play it on 1. Yeah. Okay. We'll leave up a blue here. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Urza. Trigger. Play my EE on 1, and then I'll have the Aether Gust next turn. Remember that thing that I said we were gonna do? Yeah, we did the thing that I said we were gonna do. Who needs to draw land when you can draw Kinnan and just have a burst of like 7 mana? Don't worry though. Next turn I have even more. What you doing over there, friend? Oh, I don't like this. Okay. Interesting. So they have a Risen Reef in their hand. They elected not to play it. They got a Shriekmaw. Shriekmaw is a terror and can kill my Urza. It will kill my Urza next turn when they have the ability to play it. It's Mariner? It's got to be Mariner. Mariner. There you go. Yeah, it's fine. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 potential mana. I think I'm just going to attack with the Construct and Urza. If they block my Urza with everything they have, I can pop the Engineered Explosives. I really don't want to do that. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to attack the Urza. We're just going to attack the Construct. Pow! Robot. 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 Alright. And then we'll grab Urian and flicker my board, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, cool. Who needs lands? Who needs lands? Not this guy. Not this guy at all. But I will take a Grande. Mocha. Extra chip. Okay, and we're just going to leave, yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all highlighted, good. Triggers. Whee! Alright. Yes, you have a Shriekmaw that will scare my Urza to death. However, I'm not sure how you're going to deal with the rest of this. You've called down the thunder. Now prepare for the boom. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. End of turn. Do I want to kill the Mariner? I think I do. Green, green. Actually, the easier way to do this is just go tap, red, red, bang. Yes. Bye, friend. Cool. Draw. Here come the beats, here come the beats. Oof. Sky Noodle and the Construct Brothers. And then Kinnan's going in there too. So we were cracking in for 18. Seems good. Galvanic Blast in hand would be lethal depending on how much they take. So going to game 3, baby. Going to game 3. And it's just a beautiful day for some Magic the Gathering here. Our opponent did have to mulligan to 5, but That's not my fault. Oh, let me check if my Homer cackle is at a reasonable volume now. It might be too low. Yeah, it looks okay. Oh, yeah. Hand is a banger. Opponent mulls to 6. Their deck must be really inconsistent. I wonder if that first game was a fluke. So we're going to fetch Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool, yeah. Could fetch Basic Forest, but I'm going to be playing the Goose on turn 1. So, got to goose him. Just give him a good goosing. Okay. So, well, I can hit the forest with this. Do I mind putting myself down on Mystic Sanctuary count? It's in my hand already, so yeah, I kind of do. I would like that to be an untapped land on 4 if I need it to be. Here comes the goose, here comes the goose. I had one friend who really appreciated that from... That must have been from one of the season conclusions of Doctor Who. Frito is off to top 4 of challenge. Who's Frito? Frito Kahlo? Is that who that is? Ah, there it is. Ingot Chewer. Friendo. Okay. Nice. Which Friendo? Bye, Mare. You're a great human. You get benefits from Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay, so let's see. Amber, Astrolabe, Trigger, Emry. Oh, I drew the Mishra's Bauble. Well, this is just wavy gravy right here. Ooh, bit of a rough mill, but I think I'll be all right. Pass the turn? Yeah, we're gonna be all right. Yes, absolutely. Have the best of work luck, friendo. Thank you. Oh, we're gonna be just fine here. I think we're gonna have a really good stream today. Phantasmal Image. Ooh. Did they want an Emry Lurker of the Loch? Or did they miss? That's not a land. Yeah, they're on turn 3 with no land. They've got the Aether Vial. So if I get a Karn, they're basically going to be just dead in the water here. Okay. But if I play an Uro, they'll be able to Phantasmal Image for it. Which it will then die. But still. Okay, can't make a food, so let's just take my turn. Draw 2. Let's hit a Karn. Let's just do it. Let's just hit a Karn, have this game be over. Or 2 lands, I guess. Yeah, 2 lands also works. Kind of. Still going to play the Uro, even if they get to Phantasmal Image for Uro, draw a card, gain some life. I think that's fine. Just gonna get the forest here, save myself some clicks. And I'll just play this arrow. Green, green, blue, blue. Uro's coming to kill you. Okay. Wrenn and Six doesn't have any fetch lands, but I have another one in my hand if I need it. Hello. Uro hungry. Uro smash. Whoa, easy there, buddy. Uro smash? Nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Uro smash. Okay. Astrolabe. Okay. Get my Bauble back, and then I think my board is reaching the unassailable state pretty quickly here. They should be able to draw a card and gain some life here. I wonder if they will. I would if I were them. Yeah. Smoke Braider. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a whole card. Are they gonna Phantasmal Image their own Smoke Braider during their upkeep? There's like no way. That would be very silly. It's a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. Not listened to a lot of U2 in my life. Ancient Ziggurat. Well, looks like they made it. They're going to have 4 whole mana to spend on elementals and an Aether Vial on 3. So let's see what they can put together out of that. Ingot Chewer is a 3/3, so that does not make it particularly easy for that friendo to come back with either Vesper Lark or the Thunderkin Awakener. That said, depending on what they have here, they can definitely get a Skelemental. They kept the Vial on 2. What does that mean? Oh, I don't like that at all. Bikini at all? No, just regular at all. Uh-oh. Whoops. Yeah, it's got to be Skelemental plus probably the Harbinger. So I was looking up the phonetic pronunciation of Harbinger because on a podcast I was listening to, they kept calling it Harbinger. And I was like, that can't be right. But when I was younger, I thought it was Harbinger. No, Harbinger. Yeah, Harbinger. Because I was like, oh, it brings stuff, so it's the Harbinger. Like, that makes sense to me. I am child. And but it's funny because the pronunciation was defaulted to like the English pronunciation. So instead of being Harbinger, it was like Harbinger. There's just like no R's in it, no relevant R's. Collector Oof. Well, that would be really rude if I hadn't just ripped this Galvanic Blast. I can't play. Oh, that's frustrating. Isn't it? All right. I guess I get Aether Gust it. Yeah. Let's do that because I think I basically end up mana neutral off of doing that, and then we'll see where they choose to put that. I think I might have to play out a Mystic Sanctuary for like no value. I think I'm okay with that, but I can't escape. What did they put? They put it on top. Okay, I can't escape my Uro, and I guess I could put both Mystic Sanctuaries into play this turn, which I don't love. Can I? No, I can't even do that. Huh. Okay, probably just going to do play second Emry, see what it mills, and then I know my time is a little tight, generally speaking, but I think this turn matters enough that I should be careful about it. I guess I could play the Galvanic Blast, and then reset it, and then Bauble. Yeah, actually, that's what we're gonna do. I see what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're gonna limit their mana heavily. Do you make red in response to the cast trigger and then kill it? Yeah, I can do that, but we can do it slightly more clever than that too. Because what we're gonna do is go do this, then play Sanctuary. Sanctuary resets the blast. Yeah, put that on top, and then we Bauble them. I know the Collector Oof's on top, so I guess I could have Baubled myself, but I know what's on top of my library as well. And then we can make a food and kill the Oof. And if I need to, I can kill the Oof again next turn, because Mystic Sanctuary is a fair and balanced Magic the Gathering card, which doesn't at all lead to repeatable game states like Wizards of the Coast apparently despises. Yeah, Mishra's Bauble. It pays to have played a lot of these kind of decks and get to this point. Not that these lines are impossible, but that when you're on a time crunch, sometimes you'll just miss them because you're like, oh no, I have to do the thing. I have to do the thing. There's no way out of this, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there totally was a way you could have done that. The Goose also makes food even if there's an Oof out, and when the Goose makes food, you can still use the Goose to sacrifice the food. Okay, so Kinnan means I get maximum overdrive mana, which is probably just going to be used to play Urian this turn, if I had to wager. Let's put Galvanic Blast on top. I think I just want to kind of grab as much control of this game as I can right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3. Perfect. So get Urion. And we'll play a Bant Urion, I guess. I could play the second Emry, but I'm like... I feel like they might remove it at some point. I really don't. I just don't want to give up my Emry for free. Give it up. So we are going to flicker the Emry and the Astrolabes and the Goose. We just need to be careful when they're coming back in that we draw a card before the Emry trigger, because we know we put a Galvanic Blast on top. I'm going to stop on their upkeep for this Bauble. All right. So you can stack your triggers when Urion brings everything back, and we just want to make sure that we put... we just put Emry on the bottom. Just be safe. And for anyone who's not aware at this point, although if you're watching my channel, you probably are a pretty seasoned Magic Gathering player, but the stack is a first in, last out order, unlike your milk fridge should be. So whichever thing goes on the stack first is going to come out last. First in, first out is the way you want to run a fridge in your commercial establishment. First in, first out. Use that old milk faster. What do you got? Skelemental. I guess I could just block it. Oh, friend. You knew this was here. You knew it, and you did it anyway. I respect that. I don't think it's gonna go horribly well for you, but I respect it. We're gonna copy Goose. Well, they're going to copy Concession, but I'm just wondering what they would copy. Probably Urion. They could flicker their Aether Vial. I've got some coffee in a pot, so I'm going to go pour myself another cup of coffee, and then we'll be back and rocking along. Feeling a little sluggish, so I'm going to throw on a light sweater. It is not a cardigan. I don't stand for cardigans, though I do have a lovely cashmere sweater somewhere with a V-neck. Go to the country club in that. Not that I would ever want to go to a country club, but if I did, against the South Dakota, the whole state. Goodness gracious. All right. Okay, Wrenn and Six, fetch lands, other playable spells, let's go. With their sick Narset Transcendent avatar. Okay, so we're not F6ing through this turn because we've got a Force of Negation, and if your opponent plays an Aether Vial on one, you're pretty likely to want to force it. We also might want to force here if they're going to Thoughtseize or Inquisition, because this Wrenn and Six is pretty important to us, so... The question is, what am I going to exile? Hello? There we go. I think I'm going to exile this Emry, to be completely honest, because the chances of me getting it online at any reasonable pace are low. I suppose it would have been a nice curve with Wrenn and Six, so I could have maybe just tossed the Kinnan. We'll see, based on the rest of this game. It's obviously not the most profitable line to have to, quote unquote, have to. My choice to Force of Negation there was based on the fact that my hand was pretty weak from a mana perspective. And if you get your mana kicked out from under you right at the beginning of the game, you're likely to have a real rough time in a whole bunch of matchups. And this is, I think, most of our interaction does not line up particularly well against Shadow. It is 4-color Shadow, it looks like, so this might be a Goyf coming down. No, Inquisition. Shoot. One of the things I also am not a huge fan of in these more controlling, more interactive... They took the Kinnan. Are they going to play a 1/1 Shadow? No. I was like, there's no way they walk into that, right? One of the things I don't always love about these interactive versions of Urza, like the Teamer Urza decks, though, is you have a very low artifact count. In the cards that we cut to get to this version, essentially, a lot of artifacts were traded for colored spells, which just sort of generally messes you up on sometimes wanting to do something like play an early Emry. It just doesn't happen with the same kind of consistency. Yeah, they got the stub. Yeah, that's expected. So our next turn might just be putting Urian into our hand, but Urian is not the worst thing in the world against their deck. One of the downsides is that we haven't hit any Astrolabes or anything like that yet. Oh, well, that's nice. Sick play. The South Dakota just goofing it up. It's top deck of Wrenn and Six. Come on. Oh. You know, I tried really hard. I squeezed. I gave it all I could get, but we didn't get there. Okay. The question is, they have a Thoughtseize. Do they have a Dismember? Do they have... They're actually in that funny spot with their life total, where if they dismember the Shadow, it will die. One trick that you can use is on the Death Shadow side of the table is sometimes... Oh, I was supposed to fetch and put the Urian in my hand. If you're on the Death Shadow side of the table, you can dismember your own Death Shadow on your opponent's turn in order to be able to have it become larger for your next turn. But they can't do that right now because it's just the wrong size. So giving them a target for a Dismember is not the best idea. Playing Karn out is interesting. If they have another stub, it's obviously not, it's no big loss because then they're not going to get a lot more damage in next turn. I can get Tormod's Crypt to wipe out their graveyard for potential Gurmag Anglers or Tarmogoyfs or things of that nature. I suppose if I just play it next turn... Yeah, okay. So if they have Dismember, I'm going to get punished for taking the Urza line here. But this is usually pretty good. Maybe they have a Drown in the Loch or a Trophy. Okay. None of the above so far. Let's see what they're on. I love that Goldfish naming convention because my previous opponent was on 5C and this current opponent is on 4C. And I do not understand what happened with Goldfish's naming at some point where it's just become like just sad. Like, I'm sure it's done in the spirit of some sort of format accuracy or something like that, but it's, I don't know. It does not seem effective at all to me. So this could be a Mystic Sanctuary, which is actually now relevant. So let's do Karen. Karen can get me EE or Walking Ballista to get rid of this little guy. What is this? Push? Sure. Make 1 mana in response. Okay. I'm just going to get Walking Ballista and pick off the Shadow, and that should be game over. User wins. I think if they had a Street Wraith or something of that nature, they would have used it last turn on an attack. So I'm just going to get my Ballista and play it. And we can Wish with Karn next turn and potentially also get and play our Urian. I don't think I'm going to have quite enough mana for that, but that's fine. Boop. All right. Boop him on the nose. Stepping on the beach. Do, 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 do. Stepping on the beach. Boop, boop, boop. I love Urza's pose because I don't often watch with like exacting detail on like the art of things. So the pose that Urza has here is, I always describe it in my brain as like the Sasquatch pose, which I think they specifically did use on Chameleon Colossus. I think Chameleon Colossus is intentionally got the Sasquatch pose, where if anyone's aware of there's a North American phenomena, which is the I think it's his Force of Negation out for Veil Summer in this matchup. Seems right to me. So the Sasquatch is a semi-mythical North American beast. I don't know what you would define that as. Like, it's not magical. It's just that like some people believe that that it exists, and it is like this undiscovered living fossil bridge between monkey and man. Anyway, so there's like a pretty famous. I wonder if I can find the image of it. Famous photos. But there's like a pose that it usually has, or it's like striding across the frame. Yeah, here we go. The most convincing Bigfoot sightings. So this is the kind of image that you see. So you can see he's like a human being that's like walking, caught in profile. The front leg, or the leg that's close to the camera, you get this like big thigh buttocks sort of pose, and then you look at this is more important than the match I'm playing. Chameleon Colossus. I think I can spell. Nope. Chameleon. Yeah, nope. Yes, there we go. Chameleon Colossus. He's got the same pose. You see the curve and it's obviously not the same. And it's really creepy because it's made out of, shapeshifters. But I think they intentionally chose the Sasquatch pose for that. And then, so there are other Magic cards, and this happens to other people too, I'm sure. But like, when you don't look at a card closely, and you sometimes are like, oh, this is like conceptually like, oh yeah, the image is that. Another famous one is like Signal Pest. I think there's a bunch of arts of Signal Pest where people are like, they thought the head was in one spot, and it's like it doesn't look at all like people thought it did, because they're just sort of, they'll just get a like the cursory idea of what they're looking at, and then just that's what it is in their head. So I always think that Urza is also in the Sasquatch pose. Not for any particular reason. Like, it doesn't make any sense for him to be in that. It's just the way my brain worked, where it was like, yep, that's that thing. That's the thing that is. How about the original Tarmogoyf? No idea. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Until I owned one in paper, I had no idea what was going on in that art. And I knew there was a human, but I thought it was like going into... I thought the opposite of what it is, because there's a human who's being held in a hand, and then there's a mouth in like the background, or vice versa. And I know I got it wrong with my original sort of what I thought I was looking at. Okay, so they went and got that. So they're probably gonna push my goose. Let's find out. I don't need to play out this Mox Amber now, and there's a chance that if I do it on their turn, they might. Sorry, if I leave this in my hand right now, there's a chance that if they like Thoughtseize or something of that nature, they'll take it. So I'm okay with that potential. Good old Gilded Goose being better than Birds of Paradise in these kind of decks, because oftentimes when you play it out early, people will kill it, but you get to have a food left over. It lays a helpful little egg for you. Speak of the devil. Yeah, so here, so this is the nose. This is the lower jaw. So it's got this victim here in its hand, and then it's sort of twisted its head like that, which is, it's sort of a confusing pose. But when you look at it from here, you think that this is the head, like when you're zoomed out, or maybe down here might be the head. So it's easy to figure out when you like actually explode the art, but when you take a sort of cursory like I don't know what a good word for that is, like a distance glance at it, you're like, oh, it's totally this thing, and it's like you look closer and you're like, wow, was I wrong? Okay, so can play Wrenn and Six, pick up a land. However, Wrenn and Six is just gonna die if I do that. So what if instead we just do this and we do this, and then we're just gonna pop this next turn, and then I can't pop it and play Wrenn and Six because the Mox Amber doesn't work until Wrenn and Six is in play. It's a cool card, but I prefer the Masters printing art. But I prefer the old frame. That's the problem. I can't get over the fact that I could have it in a cooler frame. I also like there's a lot of like weird little details sometimes where like over time they've changed like the sizing of the text, and like even when they don't change like the frame, sometimes they'll make like very, very small changes in different elements of the card. So I often like the older printings just for those. I'd love for them to revisit the future side frames. We have the potential to do that now. I've poked at people like Gavin Verhey on Twitter and stuff like that about the old border frame, because I love the old border frame, and I would really like to see them revisit that for a Secret Lair or a Masterpiece series. Mark Rosewater actually responded to multiple messages on Blogatog that I've put forward about it. At first it was weird because at first he said like, oh, we can't do the old frames. And I basically called him out as saying that was BS, because I was like, you make Magic cards. You make the cards. You can make the old frame again. Like, even if you had to do it from the ground, like, there are graphic designers who are like hanging out in basements or working in big, beautiful buildings that can do this. Like, it can be done. And then his response was, oh, well, no, sorry. I mean, really what I mean was not that we can't do it. It's just there's not a market for it. I'm like, well, that's really a different question entirely, because, you know, a lot of newer players, they don't even know what they look like, or if they do, they're not, you know, and maybe they're not interested in it. They're probably not. I think the old frames are kind of ugly. The old font is hilarious. The old font looks like papyrus. Like, it's a bad font, but gosh bless it, I love it. I love the old cards. I think they're fabulous, and so I don't know. I just and you know, there's obviously a huge amount of nostalgia on it, but and stubbed, yeah. That's okay. That wasn't going to do much anyway. All right. Oh, no, their Goif is even bigger. I do have the mana to crack this food. So if they go all in on a Teamer Battle Rage here, I am not going to die. And then next turn I can get my Orion and almost play it. All right, no block. Come on, TBR. Really? I definitely beat a... There's a Shadow player on the weekend, because they went in. Magic Man Sam made an amazing video analyzing how card frames and styles have changed over time. It really made you appreciate some of the old choices. Well, I mean, I've appreciated the old choices since they changed, because I started Magic 2 sets before they switched to the 8th edition frame, which is like the modern frame, versus I'll refer to it as the Frontier frame, which we were dealing with now, the M15 frame, this. And I guess Pioneer frame. But it's the old frames had a lot more charming details. Like the swirls on the blue. Friend is off to finals against E-Tron. Nice. Yeah, I like the old frames a lot for a lot of different reasons. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, we're just 1 mana short of playing Orion here. Do they have a stub or something, or like a Drown in the Loch that they were considering firing off there? I wonder. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to chump block the Tarmogoyf here, and then we're gonna have to play Orion and hope that somewhere in between those things we have something to do. The problem is, if Kinnan dies, I can't cast the Orion. I just straight up don't have enough mana. So kind of in in a bad place here. So looks like this game is not breaking our way. Yikes. Do I have enough mana for Karn Bridge? No, not even close, huh? No. They must have another piece of interaction, because I can't imagine they wouldn't just F6 now. Tarmogoyf on top. Yikes. Double yikes. Yeah, I can't do anything else. I could, if they get greedy and go all in, maybe I could shock them to death. Every color had frames that really highlighted their differences. Blue with the swirls, white having an almost lace-like background. Yeah, exactly. And I just don't. I mean, I played for a good long while when I was younger, and like reading comprehension with the old cards, literally 0 times was it ever an issue. Reading comprehension with new templates nowadays is more of an issue than reading comprehension with the old fonts, I think, ever was. Okay, I think I want these Aether Gusts, and I think the Galvanic Blasts are not great. They can be okay. So good to know on that one. Yeah, case in point is like on the green card frames, the text box was on like a scroll made of bark, which was awesome. And the bubbles, the swampy tar bubbles on the black frame, I love that. I love that. It's so cool. And there's just none of that on the new frames. They're all way too smooth. I really think that the new Magic frames, they don't speak, they don't say the word fantasy to me like the old frames did. And maybe that's not a problem for you, but like for me, I was like, oh, it's a loss. Just like in World of Warcraft at some point, and I'm not a big World of Warcraft player, but I played for a while, and they would make changes that were convenient. Take out the commands. It's bad in this matchup. I don't think it's as bad as the other cards that I was sideboarding / dealing with, but it's possible. Yeah, that's part of the thing I was asking for with the secret layers. I want some modern staples that have never been printed in Old Border to be printed in Old Border, like Snapcaster Mage Old Border. I want that so bad. And then it's asking way too much, but I would love it if they did it with old templating. So like Snapcaster Mage that said you could play this creature anytime you could play an instant. I know they'll never do that, but the old frame is enough. This is like the what is it when you're negotiating and you put something unreasonable in the negotiation so that they can say no to it, and then you can be like, all right, well, I didn't get that thing, but you can give me everything else. So you like ask for too much, and then they pare you down to the deal you actually wanted, or you actually end up getting all the things because they just cave on everything. I like the more blast because you can win by that. Commands are really slow and got the 1 mana counter or veil. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Maybe it's right to go the other way. I just had a crappy experience in the previous game where like I didn't have anywhere near enough artifacts to get Metalcraft, besides the fact that they played Tarmogoyfs, which are really never going to die to a Galvanic Blast. So like, I totally get that. That's a very valid argument. Yes. Nothing but net. So I can have up to 7 mana this turn so far. That is a great draw. So I think we'll just attack and then grab my Urion. Probably should have grabbed the Urion first because they might push this during combat, but yeah, no, looks like we're okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need this mana this turn. think my life total is going to be outcast the game, so I just want to grab 1, 2, 3. So if I don't have to, but I can't. Yeah, okay. So I wish that I could make, I could have the potential to make a food if they don't go after, or if they don't play anything that I need to gust here. But I just, it's not a realistic possibility. I think that Blast is for more direct damage than removal. I think DS would be a terrible matchup for this deck. It depends. Because our payoffs are quite expensive a lot of the time, which makes it really hard for us to punch through. If they have like a very tempo-y draw, it's really hard. It can be really hard for our deck to survive like an early threat, like a turn 2 Gurmag Angler or Tarmogoyf or something like that, followed by just like a bunch of Stubborn Denials and Mystical Dispute post board and maybe Drown in the Loch. Like, it's just very possible for them to sort of just tempo us out. So, like, I think this is going to be a game where Cryptic Command is going to be pretty valuable. We'll see. We're in a bit of a sticky spot. So I think I'm playing Urian. And then this Aether Gust is not going to be useful. We're probably just going to get smashed by the Death Shadow. On the flip side, I could just keep the Cryptic Command up, but then they're going to know I'm up to something. So I've got 1, 2, and then potentially 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So if this is not a hard counter, then we're good. I want to play Urian without cracking this fetch land in case the card in their hand is... what is it? What's the card name? Drown in the Loch. So if I play this way and they Mystic Dispute, I can pay for it. And then I get everything back. So I'm not sure what it could be here that would beat me. That would beat this. Mystical Dispute. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll go get a land. And thanks to Kinnan and his amazing ability to do things like make us more mana, we're going to be okay here. Okay. Resolves. Take that, the South Dakota. You're not the best state. Now you're in a state. A state where you have to fight down a bird serpent, which is really just here to buy me a turn. And eat a card out of your hand. I wish I had an Astrolabe, but I don't. Alright, bye friends. Y'all come back now. So if they attack with the Shadow, if they have a... Uh-oh. What is this? A Dismember? Oh boy. Yeah, that is a chunky Death Shadow. Okay, so now if they have a Teamer Battle Rage, we're just dead. But hey, that happens all the time. Because they're going to hit for... I guess if I block with both and they have the Teamer Battle Rage, I won't die. I don't know if that's a winning proposition. I guess not losing is probably the best win we can get at this point. This has got to be Fatal Push, right? Yeah. Okay. So I could tap Kinnan for 2 mana, which I will do. Let that resolve. So I think if they had the Teamer Battle Rage, potentially they wouldn't have... Well, yeah. It doesn't matter. If they have the Teamer Battle Rage, we're just dead, so we're not blocking here. Okay, they didn't have it. Good. What is the last card in their hand? We don't get to know. Well, shoot. Yeah, I think we're still in the point where we just gotta dodge this Teamer Battle Rage, so hopefully I don't have another Mystical Dispute or something of that nature. Okay. So this is probably Goose is going to make a food and then chump block? Yeah, I think so. That's a real card? Urza is a card, that's for darn sure. We'll see how much of a one. He's staring down a 10-10, so like, it's not always enough. Urza's a good card, but he's not that good. You can gust the TBR. That is true. I can do that now. Opponent goes to 1. Good luck. And concedes. Good lord. Alright, well, I guess that's how you 2-0. Huh. Yeah, they were not interested in bluffing anything. Alright, well, I respect that. I do respect that. I respect that as much as I respect the people... Well, no, that's a lie. I don't respect the people who... when I have clearly won the game, like I have an overwhelming board presence, and it's like they pass the turn to me. I'm like, all right, attack with my guys, and they're like, okay. I'm like, but blockers, and they're like, okay, blockers, and it's like, okay, damage. And they're like, yeah, okay. I'm like, so you're dead? And they're like, yes. It's like, what are you doing? Just, I don't respect only one kind of people, Tron players. You know, that's we have an agreement here on the Mana Symbol channel, which is you get a number of bad takes. So that's that can be one of yours. And what I mean by that is you know that like you know Tron is just a part of Modern. It's just a part of Modern. If it's not gone by now, it's not going anywhere. It's never going to leave. And so you have to make peace with it being part of the metagame. But that can only be true so many times, right? So like I hate Burn. I hate Burn. And Burn is like one of the most fair decks ever. I always get super punished for any deck that I'm playing when I play against Burn. And so I hate Burn, and that's my bad take. Because I know it's an important part of the metagame. I'm like, Burn is like the check on nonsense, or one of the multiple checks on nonsense. This is slightly risky. I think I'm going to keep it. We're on the draw, so Burn is one of the checks on the metagame. It's a healthy part of Modern. I just I freaking hate losing to Burn, but other people have it for Tron. And the thing is too, it usually corresponds to what kind of decks you like playing, and sometimes like how you learned to play the format, or with which deck you played the format when you started. So it's totally, oh look, we found him. We found a Tron player. Now the question is, are they playing good Tron, bad Tron, or god-awful Tron? We'll find out soon enough. This deck becomes so much more cool with the interactions. The one I'm playing? Because I liked both versions, all the versions we've played of it so far. I don't know about if it's more cool with the interactions, but I will say it as I was saying during the deck tech, it does seem like Modern has pushed in a direction where if you don't play the interaction we're playing in the main deck right now, which is Galvanic Blast, which Tron is good Tron? Green Tron. Green Tron is good Tron. E-Tron is bad Tron, and Blue Tron is the bad Tron, or the god-awful Tron. Which, like, these things were set when I started playing, and so I'm just never changing. I'm never changing how I refer to those, even though E-Tron will frequently be a better card. Okay, we got a Mazemind Tome. So they can scry every turn with this. If they have a spare 2 mana, they can draw a card and put a page counter, or the scrying also puts a page counter. And then when there are 4 more page counters on Mazemind Tome, you exile it, and if you do, you gain 4 life. So they can't do that infinitely. This makes me think that this is E-Tron that we're playing against. Wrenn and Six is a great draw here. Let's see. So, yeah, I can play Wrenn and Six and Emry this turn? No, I have to pick and choose. So play Astrolabe into Emry, or I can play Wrenn and Six. And then the Mox Amber doesn't... Oh, then the Mox Amber can play the other Astrolabe. So either way, I get to play the Astrolabe. But if I play Astrolabe and Emry, I have 1 mana left over. Whereas if I play Wrenn and Six and the Astrolabe, then I have 0 mana left over. So I think I'm going to play it. No, hold on. But for Emry, the Summoning Sickness is relevant. So let's play Mox Amber. I guess the other argument, though, would be that I can exile Emry to Force of Negation, which I can't do with Wrenn and Six. But I think I'd rather have the Emry than the Wrenn and Six out early. I don't know, because either way I can play Urza next turn. Let's play the Wrenn and Six and sort of slow roll it, because I think Emry might be the best exile in my hand for the Force of Negation, which I might need to do right now. This means I can't play the other Astrolabe, actually, but that's fine. This is the new hotness in E-Tron. Is it? I heard the Tunneling Cat, who is currently the trophy board leader, she was talking about playing Mazemind Tome. in Etron. It seems like a good card for them, right? Like it just improves your consistency for 0 mana. You will have extra mana at other points where you can just start drawing cards. So like, it definitely seems feasible for either version of Tron, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, if they replaced Mind Stone with this, that's an interesting choice. But like Mind Stone is only like a 1 or 2 of in most Etron lists, I think. So that makes sense to me. Ooh, okay, so they're digging for lands, I guess. Because they bottomed on their previous scry. So, let's see what's up. So we're hoping they do is they hit Tron and then they throw Karn at me. Because we get to force that. What we're hoping they do not do here, okay, they topped it, is just hit Tron and hit me with the Reality Smasher, which is going to kill my Wrenn and Six. That is one of the least possible threatening things they could have played. I'm very satisfied with this turn from my opponent. Thank you. Second Wrenn and Six. All right. So it's looking like this could be a Mystic Sanctuary Loch kind of game, which really helps against these kind of decks too. So we have the ability to play an awful lot of stuff this turn. Let's see what is our optimal sequence. So we could play Urza for the 4. I think we're pretty locked into that. And then, actually, I don't know how much we can play because play Urza. Urza gives me another 1 mana. I could filter it through the Astrolabe, draw to play the next Astrolabe and draw a card. Oh, and then we can play the Emry off of the new Astrolabe. So actually, it's pretty good. Hopefully I draw another blue card. I did not. See, I don't want to go shields down against a non-creature spell, but I guess we're pretty likely to be able to survive whatever they can play. Maybe this was a bad choice. Going shields down against Etron feels bad. If I play the EEO for 0, it doesn't actually help me in terms of casting Force of Negation, so... yeah, doesn't matter reshaper. That's nice. We, my good friend and I, who hangs out here a lot, matter reshaper is a running joke in which, like, as the opponent of Etron, whenever they tap out for like matter reshaper, or it's like late game and they top deck and then they start casting a spell and you're like, oh no, and then it's a matter reshaper and you're like, it's just a matter reshaper. So, and then we were trying to identify the matter reshapers of each deck. It's like that card that comes down and you're like, oh, we're good. We're fine. Chalice is slightly frustrating here because I have Engineered Explosives, but I don't have the ability to play it for 0. It dismembers pretty good. Knocks down my Urza, which I invested in. 2 mana. Chalice on 1. Good lord. All right, well, that we can deal with. Can we? No, we cannot. So I need a way to get colorless mana. Do I have anything on my sideboard? I don't think I do. Well, that's a shame. All right. So we got to be a little bit careful now with the double chalices. So I can't currently play anything of any value out of my graveyard. Oh, I could just play Karn and plus on a chalice. That's what we can do. Doi. What's the matter reshaper of burn? I probably like in the late game. No, at most points. I think it's probably Rift Bolt. I think it's Rift Bolt. At most stages of the game, when the Rift Bolt comes out, you're like, eh. That's That's fine. Riftbolt's whatevs. Okay, so we're gonna poke the 0 because that means I can play out more junk here. Bauble's nice because I get to go Bauble you and then replay the Bauble. And then I could play the EE on 0. Do I want to do that now? Not really. Because I could just use Karn to kill this other one. I'm just going to leave my 5/5 in case they have a Meta Reshaper. And this, sorry, in case they could play a Reality Smasher. This currently can't get through my construct, so pretty happy to sit. On the downside, we're once again short a blue card to pitch for Force, so if this is a Karn, it could be problematic. Thought-Knot Seer? Thought-Knot Seer is going to eat my Galvanic Blast, I think. So that can enter the battlefield. We're going to fetch. I guess I could put the other Galvanic Blast on top now. Yeah, why not? So we'll do that. Yes, please. And then we'll do this. Oh, I guess I'm going to put a Galvanic Blast into my hand that they're then possibly going to exile. What just happened? What? Oh, there's a Chalice on one. I'm a goofball. Whoops. That's okay. I've got a Galvanic Blast on top to deal with the Thought-Knot Seer. Yep. So I got by Chalice. It's not even going to matter, I think. So remember, folks, there's infinite complicated interactions sometimes. But that's fine because we still have the Galvanic Blast on top, so we're just going to uptick on the Chalice, and then, yeah, they take the Force of Negation. Not surprising. So I did waste a Mystic Sanctuary there, but that's okay. Waste. Let's Bauble them again. Bubbly, 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 bubbly. Okay. So, ooh. I like Kinnan. I like Kinnan. Okay, so we're just gonna super outstrip them here. Just like, we're just gonna zoom far and away. Okay, let's do this thing before I make that mistake again. Pick up Scalding Tarn. Okay, and then so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? That's not enough mana to get Urian and play it. Screwed up. Kind of. Okay, so if we're not doing that, probably let's just kill the Thought-Knot Seer. Oh. Don't want to do that. Have the extra mana floating. Well, we'll probably just put Urian into our hand this turn. Okay, let's see what we draw. Get an Uro? Nope. Just more Wrenn and Sixes. It's just Wrenn and Sixes all the way down. Okay. And then, yeah, I just don't have enough mana for this turn. I don't really want to attack. I have Misty Rainforest in play, which can grab my other Mystic Sanctuary if I need it. So, but I do have the potential to draw instant speed interaction. So let's hit them with the Bauble now. They're drawing an Expedition map, which can't activate under my Karn, and I drew a Force of Negation anyway. So, bully. Have you played a lot of Urza builds in Modern? Have you tried any Urza? I basically specialized in Urza for like the entire month of January. So if you check underneath my channel, Mean Lizard, because I know you're a new follower as of today, underneath the video here, you can find a link to my YouTube. I post almost every single league that I play. I have played a lot of Urza decks. I like them as it's one of my favorite competitive decks to play. If I want to queue for a tournament that is more serious than just leagues, I will always be playing Urza or at least Cryptic Command, almost always. There's another deck that I play called Iceberg Control. Well, it's black, blue, red, green. So you can find all of that. And it's all accessible and it's all ready to rock for you. So go on over there and give my YouTube a follow as well. And then if you ever miss the stream, you can find a back catalog of videos. I always have a link to the deck list. I always have the deck list in the video description. So as much as you may like or dislike the human being I'm about to mention, Jeff Hoagland was a wonderful sort of blueprint for, I think, how to run a Twitch stream / YouTube channel really well, just in terms of organization. And I'm not as organized as that, but I like to think that I'm trying. So we just had literally no sideboard cards for this matchup, but that's kind of okay. This hand is like pretty loose. I think we gotta mull this. Yeah, thanks, friend. A follow on Twitch and a subscribe on YouTube are all I ever could ask for anyone at this point. Okay, so this is kind of sketchy, but since I get to play Magic no matter what happens with this game right now, I'm somewhat inclined to keep, because I just feel like an early Chalice can shut down so many hands from my deck that, like, this is a reasonable hand, we're going to keep it, and we're just going to mid-range control our way through this. Temple. Okay. Okay. Kinnan is a good draw. Not a great draw, but a good draw. This is going to be a Bauble ourselves kind of situation. So we're getting Ketria Triome, like 10 out of 10. Mox Amber on top. I do not want that, so we're going to shuffle that away. I'm looking for action, but not like that. Hopefully we dodge Chalice on one here. That's a really good draw, because the Misty means this Wrenn and Six is now going to come down, and then, whew, just a Matter Shaper. Played a lot of Urza, but haven't played Urza in any other builds. This list is tempting me to take a break from Thopter Sword. Well, so so I sold my Mox Opals less than a month, around a month before that ban came down. And because I saw the blue-green Urza deck and I was like, wow. And it's a long story. But anyway, the point is I sold out of that because I like to play more fair Magic than what the Urza decks were doing at the time. And so infinite combos were just not something I was interested in. But then I started playing a lot more Magic online. And I'm like, okay, infinite combos are sometimes what you need to do to be competitive. Anyway, long story short, Sam Black wrote a wonderful article. Was this Eli Cassis, whichever one. Eli wrote a wonderful article right after Mox Opal got banned on the future of Urza. There was Blue-Black Urza, Grixis Urza, and Teamer Urza mid-range. Which, if you look back in the in my channel, you will see some of the videos are listed as Urza mid-range, which was before the name Uroza got really popular for the archetype. And that was my personal favorite of the potential lists. Blue-Black Thopter Sword combo, Blue-Black Urza was the best in the beginning. Now that one seems to have fallen off entirely. Which every time I've played it recently, it's felt really underpowered. So right now we've got the divergence between the Uroza mid-range decks and the Thopter Sword combo ones, which are usually Grixis, sometimes 4-color. Same with the Uroza decks. Sometimes they go into Bant or Sultai. Thank you for the follow, obviously Basura. Anyway, so yeah, I just really like the fair versions of Urza. I didn't like Gilded Goose for a long time. That was a card that I had to struggle with. I got Dismember. All right, I can deal with that member. There's a good chance we... Uh-oh. Smashy boy. There's a good chance we just let Wrenn and Six get whomped here. Oh, thank you so much. We do what we can, friend. We do what we can. Yikes. Yeah, this is the kind of draw from their deck that can definitely take us down pretty quickly. We'll see if we can find a way out of this. All I gotta do is draw like 5 Astrolabes. That is 0 number of Astrolabes. Yeah. So play Wrenn and Six, pick up a land again. We're actually running into the problem that the Wrenn and Six damage is going to be a problem soon enough too. I agree that Dimir has felt underpowered. I love the Thopter and Sword combo, but the deck has sort of felt like it doesn't have the tools it needs in many cases. Well, I think that's why the Grixis one has been more successful recently, is it's just more consistent at assembling the combo and less controlling. Because cards like... what am I talking about? What card? Cards like Cryptic Command got a little bit worse with some of the way the metagame was shifting. So, Cryptic Command is still great, but you couldn't rely on it the same way that the Urza deck could in the beginning. In the more Titan-centric metagame, I'm going to think of it as. Okay, so now they can play a 1-mana artifact. I think it's Pithing Needle on Wrenn and Six, maybe? So we could go Galvanic Blast plus Wrenn and Six ping. Could kill Karn, depending on what they get here. Yeah. We are going to be trying versions of the Kinnan Uroza deck later on this week with Stoneforge Mystic, with which my good brewing buddy Jiggywiggy, who helped me develop the original Kinnan Uroza deck. We're going to be trying that. We're going to be trying... a version that he did with what was the other one? Oh, we're gonna be trying like Iceberg mid range, so like Sultai plus red or Teamer plus black. I think we're just dead here, right? I don't have anything I can do. There's no way to deal with a Smasher. We just flooded out. All good. Let's go to game number 3. All right. So I still have no sideboard cards for this matchup? Yeah. That's okay. Gotta check. Always gotta check. Hey. Uro is fabulous. Uro is my new mid-range god, and I will not hear any smack talk about this beautiful boy. Actually, I'll hear it. I don't mind. You can smack talk Uro all you want. Me and my boy Uro can take it. Uro ain't afraid of no ghost. I would say if Uro was a 5/5, it would be a big difference. There's just so many times where the fact that he's a 6/6 is just too big. Like, again, I'm playing against Etron right now. I have had multiple Etron players salt off at me about Uro specifically. And then usually they'll win the next game. They won't always win the match, but like Uro definitely puts a hurt on them that they were not used to feeling. Same with Niv Mizzet. Oh, Niv Mizzet was another deck that I played a lot of. That is my more casual competitive deck. Like, that's like, if I'm going to go F&M, I'll play Uroza or 5-color Niv. Or just something even more goofy than that. If I'm playing a more serious tournament, I'm probably going to play Thopter Sword combo. But I've played Niv to a good number of top 8s. My trios team, we went to the Modern Trio event in Columbus, SCG Columbus, and we were 1 match short of making day 2, and my record on Niv was 6-2. 6-1-2. 5-1-2. My record was 5-1-2. Yeah, so which was the same as our team's record. But I had wonderful, wonderful teammates. And that was with Oko in the format too. That was a good week. We lost the finals after literally losing one with the one on the board. I mean, it happens, friend. That is banger of a hand. Let's go. Let's go! So, we do have the potential set up for like the super explosive turn 2. But I think instead of that, it's just so tempting. All right. So we have a choice between Springleaf Drum or Arcum's Astrolabe on turn 1. With the Springleaf Drum, if we draw a Mox Amber, we can go nuts on turn 2. However, it is also possible that we kind of hit nothing. Are we doing better than 1-4? We are. We're currently 2-0, Mr. Larynx Punchworthy, and welcome to the stream. We're going to be playing Iceberg later on, if you are interested in my suffering and or the suffering of others. I know you usually are. Hopefully we're going to avoid any kind of brutal chalices here. I guess Etron doesn't really play Simian Spirit Guides often anymore, so there's a very low chance of them getting a chalice on 1 on turn 1. It could be chalice on 0. That is the most likely event here. In which case, this is why I didn't want to go all in, hoping to draw a Mox Amber, but there's a chalice on top. Well, there it is. So they're going to be able to play a chalice on 1 next turn for sure. I can't play Kinnan and Wrenn and Six here, and I can't play Wrenn and Six here, so I think we're going to fetch Shock Breeding Pool. This does mean we can play Karn next turn, so if they just play Chalice on 1, we're going to kind of crush them, but we'll see how this develops. Yeah, Dismember. Yikes. Okay. So we need to draw a land next turn, either naturally or off our Arcum's Astrolabe, because they're going to have Chalice on 1 here. Oh, we're not going to be able to play the Arcum's Astrolabe. Yikes. Oh, no. They're playing a Reshaper? Oh, Chalice on 0. And a Reshaper. That's fine. As long as they don't play the Chalice on 1, we're okay here. For now. Well, maybe spoke too soon. Well, that's a yikes. Alright. So I can get the Wrenn and Six next turn to get the mana going, but yeah. Yeah. Yep, so we're kind of punished for our sequencing. We were hoping for the super explosive early game, and that just did not work out at all here. 2, I want to Galvanic Blast this Matter Reshaper right now. Kind of. Yeah. So this is one of those games where Matter Reshaper is actually going to be really good because it put pressure on me to remove it because obviously the amount of damage it would start dealing reasonably quickly was going to be a problem. Now they're going to get to snipe my Wrenn and Six if they're clever, which I assume that they are. So we might be in trouble here. And by might, I mean like almost definitely are. They've also got Tron next turn through the Expedition map. They did in fact take the Wrenn and Six, which means I can play nothing this turn. Could put Urian in my hand. I don't even know if it's worth doing. Probably is. I am going to get a red source here. Maybe just the mountain. I think just the mountain. Because if they play Karn, the Great Creator, on their side next turn, that is going to shut me down on colors. So I want to make sure that that is not as much of an issue. Because, yeah, this is not looking good. They got one of those very powerful, disruptive 7-card hands. The Dismember was clutch. Chalice on 0, clutch. The Matter Reshaper ate a removal spell and flipped the Expedition map, which is going to get them Tron. So we're definitely going to get... Oh, man, that's good. Yikes. All right, so we really want to top deck a land here. Untap land specifically, because there's a Ketria Triome in my deck. That's not going to do it. I think we're just dead. No, sometimes Etron just gets the nuts on you. Yeah. So we do... Well, maybe we get to buy another turn. We'll see what they have. They could have another Smasher or otherwise. Your favorite type of lettuce is lettuce C? Yeah. This, all the dust? Oh, Ballista. It's super dead. Got it. Nice. Yeah. So Dismember into Chalice into Thought Not Seer just ate us alive there. We just stumbled a bit on our colors, and we couldn't quite pull it out. I don't know if I made any bad choices there, even though... I mean, maybe not mulliganing. It was an okay hand. I think it was fine. The other thing was Iceberg Lettuce. That's true. Iceberg Lettuce is it's the superior lettuce. That's right. I'm coming at you, Romaine. Okay. This hand doesn't have a plan beyond turn 1. However, we have Mishra's Bauble and a fetch land. Is that good enough? It's probably not. But we're on the draw. I don't know. We've got double Galvanic Blast. I'm going to keep this. It's definitely super risky, and I do not recommend other people keep this hand if they want to win with this deck, but I'm going to do it. Entertainment value. Let's go. Okay, Windswept Heath is definitely what we want to see with our double Galvanic Blast hand. Soul Warden. Did not... Romaine isn't as fancy as it thinks it is. That's the truth right there. That is the biggest truth bomb I've heard in a long time. So, already drawing out of this. So we're going to use Polluted Delta to get a Scalding Tarn. The question is when, and that question will be answered by Bobbling myself, because I do want Mox Amber. Not interested in that one right now. Again, it's just not what I'm in the market for. Do I want to play Springleaf Drum here? Sort of a high potential upside. Downside is I'm tapped down for any nonsense that they play on turn 2. And I have double Galvanic Blast, so I probably want to blast the next creature when it's on the stack. And then blast it the turn after. Castle Ardenvale. Well, okay. Do you have some kind of protection spell or something? No. Okay. With Throbbing Inspector. Stupid French name putting on airs. That's right. Oh, oui, oui. Le romaine lettuce for your salad du César. Okay, so we're probably playing... Can I play all of this? I can't. I could play the Astrolabe, then the Goose, but then I can't play the Drum. Play the Astrolabe and then the Drum. So probably playing Astrolabe Goose, I think. So I'm not really afraid of their next turn play. I probably should be, but I'm not. And I think playing a little bit more aggressively to the board is probably good. Having the next land is really good because that means next turn I can play Urza if the coast is clear. Also, having an O2 is like not the worst thing in the world against this Throbbing Inspector. So, yeah, okay. Feeling okay. Feeling not terrified. They filled the decks with bad creatures. We may have a chance. Hey, we were 2-0 before that E-Tron third game. And maybe the second game. We're doing well with this deck. This deck is gas, man. Karn is a great addition to Uroza. Ew, E-Tron. Hey, E-Tron is a banger. E-Tron, the squirrels of Modern. What does this mean? All this mana? Like, I don't... I don't like it. The difference is E-Tron has good creatures. It does. It does. Oh, the Squirrels of Modern joke is about the fact that E-Tron... It feels like E-Tron was here before all the other archetypes, and that no matter how many archetypes or new busted cards get printed, E-Tron is just... It's just going to be with us for the duration. path. Okay, so I will produce a mana in response. This path is fine. Yes, I would like probably a forest in case we draw an Uro. What is up, Odd Parsley? As usual, my channel is reasonably organized here. This deck looks sweet. This deck is sweet. Thank my wonderful friend Aaron Singh, Jiggywiggy, for the update to the deck, which now includes interaction in the main deck. So this is basically Uroza expanded by 20 cards, and those 20 cards include Kinnan, Springleaf Drum, and Karn. That's basically what it is. What? Okay, so you get your Eldamri's Call. This is gonna be Devoted Druid, right? Okay, it is. Okay. And this is a perfect example of why we're playing this deck that we're playing right now, because now we get to play Galvanic Blast. Have you thought about adding 4 ad nos for Angel's Grace? I mean, you could always do that. Interaction is my favorite sport. Yeah, it's the biggest downside of this deck is that it's super expensive, which like I hate that. I'm not a fan of that fact, but I mean that's not, that's, I have no power. If I could make this deck cheaper, I would for everyone, but that's not something I have the power to do. All right, so we're gonna go Mystic Sanctuary for Galvanic Blast. I think we're gonna go Karn and get Sorceress Spyglass and name Devoted Druid. We do get a look at their hand when we cast Spyglass, so looking forward to that. It's the Wrenn and Sixes that make it expensive, right? And the Force of Negations. There's the Vizier and Court of Calling. Yeah, so we're still going to call Druid here. It's possible with the Court of Calling they can get Artifact Destruction spell for my Sorcerer's Spyglass, but they're a little limited on mana right now, and we have a Galvanic Blast sitting on top of our library. We're going to lose the stupid castle over the next 10 turns, and I want you to know I'm upset about that. Well, we can get the boat next turn, so I don't agree with you, question mark. Sky Sovereign is going to knock down tokens, or we could get Walking Ballista and just keep cranking it every turn, so I don't know about that one, friend. Yeah, so oh, and the Uros. So the Uro is, the 4 Uros are 270 tickets. The 4 Force of Negations are almost the same. The 4 Wrenn and Sixes are also similarly expensive. So it's, yeah, unfortunately. The Karns have come down, and Urza. Karn and Urza have both lost a lot of their value. A boat is just a boat, but the mystery Karn could be anything. Even a boat. I'm just preparing my heart for the worst case. That's fair. They have Urian? I so did not notice they were on 80 card Devoted Druid. I am so excited. We're going to have some Sky Noodle fights. They're just going to be slapping each other around in the air. Oh, they fielded me off of my Galvanic Blast. Well, that's okay. Okay, so I wish I had God Pharaoh statue in my sideboard right now, because I could definitely get it and play it and lock them out of their Urian. That said, I guess Sky Sovereign is probably the best thing. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana this turn. So Uro and Sky Sovereign is not a real possibility. So, oh, maybe I should just get the Liquid Metal Coating and start attacking their mana. Because I don't... Did they have more lands? So they played a Field of Ruin, so they may not. And then attacking their mana is good anyway, even if they have the Urian. So let's play Uro first, see where we go with this. If we hit... There's a world in which we get to play Uro, escape Uro, and Liquid Metal Coating them here. Yeah, I just start strip mining. That's what we're going to do. You got your next emote slot. You're going to have cute bears soon. Nice. I do have an empty emote spot. I also, in theory, need to pay someone to design a better super genius emote than what I have. So, that's a whole thing. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to stop on their upkeep, and we'll see where this goes. If they don't have another mana, they end up getting screwed here, and then I can make a food at end of turn. So that's where we're at right now. I'm just going to shut down their castle. Yeah, I think the castle. Because they have enough green mana. Okay, they can field here, I guess. I just modified it, give me money. I don't think that's how that works, friend, but thank you. I don't know if that's how that works. Path my construct. All right. Use my construct for green mana to... See, I can't make the food now. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to make the food this turn. Because I can't put my Karn at risk to get killed by the Thraben Inspector. Oh, okay, and they rip the land. So, but we're going to have access to our Urian next turn, and our Urian is going to be much more impressive than theirs was. So, 4 mana Teferi is so hot, need to get 2. Okay, hear me out. Put 4 mana Teferi in this deck to draw more cards and make our opponents learn what phasing does. I mean, I was actually considering 4 mana Teferi in one of these decks. I don't think it's that good. I don't think that card is very good in general, but I don't think it's particularly good for this archetype. We had Jace the Mind Sculptor before, and I think Jace the Mind Sculptor is still better for this archetype, generally speaking. I could be wrong. I mean, we have Emry, we have Uro, like we have graveyard synergies, so maybe, but so their clue doesn't do anything, which is kind of sweet. Okay, so we start this strip mining. Yeah. And then what? Yeah, let's go after the castle. Just get their inevitability out of here. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, we're gonna get Uro and cast Uro. Or Urian, sorry. And we'll still have the ability to block my goose. And now we've got double force, so if they have another path, we get to blow them out on that. I say blow them out, I mean it's not really. We get the opportunity. We have the option of 2-for-1ing ourselves, which is just such an exciting proposition. I'm really excited about the possibility here. They're just endless, and we do get to shut down one of their mana again here, which is kind of neat. So we get to flicker, and we also get to flicker the Karn, which is no, he isn't. I'm memeing. Yeah. No, I knew you were memeing. I don't think Alex is. I think a lot of good players are convinced that the new Teferi is good. I don't think enough one way or the other on it. It might be very good. I don't think so, but I've been wrong about all sorts of stuff, so you know. I would say my card evaluation skills are fine, you know. I have a reasonable grasp of what's good in this game of Magic the Gathering that we play, but I'm not sure. They still have the Chord of Calling in their hand. I wonder if they're going to go for it here. Yeah, it looks like it. We're just going to get to force them, which is going to be great. Teferi is great in EDH. Yeah, but, I mean, we don't measure how good a card is to play in Modern by how good it is in EDH. Bye, nerd. Boosh. Get out of here. Nice chord. What was that? What was that? Like a major 7 sharp 9? Huh? Huh? You guys like my very niche music jokes? I know you do. Okay, so we can do all sorts of stuff this turn. So let's probably play Uro first. Nerd! You guys catch a load of the nerd? Shit. Actually, I've got another Bauble, so this is fine. So let's play the Uro because I'm interested in seeing what I draw. Goose is fine. Not exciting, but fine. I think we're just going to strip mine them and hang out. I suppose I could grab my force back with the Mystic Sanctuary. That's probably worth doing, actually. We've got them in the shrinking universe over there. Can you feel it, opponent? The walls closing in. They're coming for you, Clarice. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Bauble them. Play. Oops, that's not what I want. We're going to goose. Make one goose into another. Actually, we'll just use the arrow, because this one is not sick. I mean, it's sick nasty, but it's not summoning sick. Alright, we're good here. Okay, should pick up the pace a little bit. I love that quote. Nerd! Did you guys catch load of the nerd? Excuse me? Okay, so they still have the Vizier of Remedies in their hand, and then they've got one question mark. Soul Warden, sure. I guess I'm not winning very quickly yet, but we will be. Cast the Vizier, sure. Why not? Gain 1 life, sure. Sick triggers, bruh. Bruh. Sick triggers. Oh, if I want to make a food, I have to crack a food. Yeah, it's not a winning proposition. All right. So, do I want to keep attacking their mana? Probably. I don't know. They've got enough. Whereas if I get Sky Sovereign, I get to start smashing them. So I think what we're going to do is, before I do anything, we're going to go to combat and attack with my team here. Uro and the boys. Uro and the boys. Yeah, so they're going to have the Orion's Bonk, and then we're going to go get Sky Sovereign and snipe down their Sky Noodle. All right, you guys ready for the sound effect? It's coming. Boosh. SpongeBob's alarm clock. If I had to guess, I'm assuming I'm going to see a draw step concession from them. Not on their actual draw step, but during their first main phase, I'm guessing they might concede, because they're living in this shrinking universe. They can't. They're getting very limited in what they can do here. They still can't combo. Yeah, I just have the Sorcerer's Spyglass. Perfect. Cool. So we have Aether Gust coming out of the board here, and not much else, but that's fine. So just Aether Gust for some Force of Negations, and I will be back in 2 seconds. I think I might reboot the client after this match, just because it's getting a little chunky. We'll see. Back in 2 seconds. Okay. Have you tried the Kinnan outcome posted here some days ago? I don't think so. I really don't like Paradoxical Outcome as a card, and I think in Modern with only Mox Amber and such, it's just not good enough. I know there was a mono blue quote-unquote Storm deck for a while in Standard, and we could do something like that with Aetherflux Reservoir with Karn, but I don't know. I'm just not convinced about the efficacy of that plan. We do somewhat have to watch out for Veil of Summer from our opponent in this game, but I think we'll be okay as long as we keep ourselves aware of it. We do have Aether Gust and such. All right, so we got turn 1 Springleaf, but if we don't draw any colors, we're completely dead in the water. Again, this is a risky hand. We have Gilded Geese that we can draw that don't do anything for us. But we have something crazy like 12 fetch lands. Hold on, let's check it out. Always a good idea to sort of verify with your deck. So we've got, 12 fetches. And then we also have Triome, Breeding Pool, Steamits helps a little bit, plus the actual forests. We've got Astrolabes. And Baubles will help us through this. I'm gonna keep this hand. The potential explosiveness of it is crazy. If we get punished, we get punished. Let's said Kinnan, Springleaf, Mox, Amber, Reservoir, Song of Creation, Paradox Engine seem fine. And of course the PO. Yeah. Okay. Uro does not help yet. We're looking for green mana. Looking for greener pastures. There's a good chance we just get like turn 3 comboed anyway. So, oh, maybe not. All right. So they're splashing black. I guess in 80 cards that makes sense. I would definitely want more options with 80. Oh no! Oh, opponent! Oh no! Oh no! My deck did the thing. My deck did the thing. Y'all ever seen a turn 2 Urza Lord High Artificer? Fact. Urza is busted in half. Fact. Hello. Sup? Ba-boom. Path it? Just path it. It's cool. I don't mind. Eladamri's call. Uh-oh. Am I just going to die? It's possible I'm just going to die anyway. It's true we don't actually have any interaction in our hand yet, so... It's very possible we're just going to die anyway. That said, we'll see how this all goes. They get Collector. Oof. I'm actually okay. Where's my... If I wanted a shuffling deck right now. Oh, I've got Iceberg here. With my stamped Thassa's Oracle. What I was saying about this archetype is basically big mana. I say stamped Thassa's Oracle, I mean the from the promo packs. Winds of Abandon, and they got Auriok Champion? That's an interesting choice. Okay, well, sure. Let's get a forest or a mountain. Oh, we'll get a mountain so I can play Wrenn and Six next turn. Into Uro. I still keep my construct, so I'm pretty happy. Winds of Abandon. Well, I guess they need more redundant copies of Path, I suppose. Alright, so... I guess I can play the Uro first. So green, red. Just tap for 2. Green, blue. Play the Uro. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. I can tap the Uro for 2 mana right now. Let's put Minamo in. Tap the Uro for green, green. Okay, that dies. Play Astrolabe. Tap the Astrolabe for red, red. Play Wrenn and Six and Karn? Just play the Karn. +1. I still have a land drop? Crazy. I could play Wrenn and Six plus Karn, or I can play Karn plus Spyglass, which is definitely better, I think. Plus is going to pump my construct by 1, which is going to beat down. So on turn 3, we did, I don't know, most of this stuff, I guess. So that seems good, I guess. Still right, suppose. Heliod, Knight, Cord, because they have 3 mana, so they're pretty choked, and they scoop. Okay, that's fair. Our opponent is a cool human. Turn 3 Karn, just like Tron. Yeah, but we did it after turn 2 Urza, so, you know. I'm just going to boot the client real quick. So I'll just pop you guys over here. And, yeah. MTGO gets a little chunky if you don't reboot it from time to time. Oh, also, after that victory. I love that clip. All right, Larynx Punchworthy. When are you gonna donate for the ASMR stream where I shuffle into the microphone? Or are you one of the people that hates the ASMR streams? Thank you for the follow, Penach010. Ridiculous. Did you know ridiculous is spelled ridiculous? I have been made aware repeatedly, my friend. We're not fixing it. It's too late. I would have to redo that entire meme, and I pump out high-quality memes conceptually. I wish I had an editor. That's all I can tell you. And the best meme that I ever created, I did have basically an editor / creative consult along the way. My good friend Roy the Boy, as well as the one and only Cave Dan from the Faithless Brewing podcast. Faithless Brewing, by the way, the best podcast out there in the Magic the Gathering world, in my opinion. Just a bunch of 3 cool fellows who brew up new decks with sometimes underplayed card. I had to pay for the emotes and the extra subs, so not for a bit. Oh, no. I mean, I'm not... Dude, I just don't know if you're that kind of person. With the... Oh, yeah. I wonder what this one... So this is my little Zoom microphone, and I'm just getting right up on it, and I think the gain setting is probably a little too strong for me to be this close on the microphone. But I just want all you out there in the world to know just how much we love being here on the Mana Symbol channel. We're going to be with you for the rest of the afternoon. We're going to be moving on to some Iceberg control after this wonderful league of the Kinnan deck, but it looks like we found our next victim. So let's hop in there and just mess them up a little bit. I'm gonna go back in the video and see what that actually sounds like. Because I have like a little mic stand thing where I could position it closer to my face. Okay, December 18. Okay. Sorry, Bad Cow Chicken. I'm sure some other people were inspired by it to heights that they... Was it towards known heights? Why would I pay for ASMR when I could pay for Subnautica? That's true. Well, you could always double up, pay for ASMR Subnautica. Alright. Sands Keeper. It's not crazy, but it's a good one in the dark on the draw. So, let's hop on into this one. At some point, I'm going to put on my suit and get one of those like headphone or headsets with the microphone, so that I can do an entire stream as a sports commentator. Which I think people are going to be sick of really fast, but whatever. I love Hank Azaria playing Brockmire on that show. I did not watch that much of that show, but what I did watch, I really enjoyed. Good Lord, he's fantastic, and it's a funny show. All right, so it looks like we're against Titan Shift. This was a terrible. Oh no, you know what it is? It's probably the. No. Well, we'll see. It's probably Titan Shift. Dry the Elysian Grove. Yeah, looks like it's Titan Shift. So we will be glad that we are playing the interaction version of this deck. Okay, it looks like they're off to a bit of a slow start. Mox Amber is a pretty good pickup. Pact of Negation is also okay. I don't want to sack my food to do anything this turn. So we're probably going to let them resolve their Searcher tomorrow, and then they're also going to get to resolve their Dryad the Elysian Grove, and then we're going to get to play Urza into... we'll see. Urza into having Force of Negation ready to go, which may not be good enough this game. So it looks like we might just be on the slow side in game one, which is not unusual. I want to reiterate, I had a really good time playing Subnautica, so that is going to happen on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, the next installment of Subnautica here on the Mana Symbol channel. So what we might do is on Friday, we could play Subnautica and then play the prelim. Because we'll play Subnautica for like 2 hours. They didn't play the Dryad. I wonder if they have main deck Veil of Summer? Or if they just want to try to keep the Dryad out of the line of fire. Oh, I can make another food here if I don't get the Ketria Triome. I think I'd rather do that, because that's going to be more mana post Urza. Plus a bigger construct. And then if we pick up a Cryptic Command, we're going to be really cooking with propane. Okay, another Karn. Another Karn's not the best, but... Okay, so... We do not have a lot of tools for this matchup. And I guess liquid metal coating. So it depends on how fast I can get that down. We are going to be able to play Urza into Force of Negation here. So hopefully that is somehow relevant. Alright. Urza. Okay, we're just 1 mana short on playing Karn this turn. We can play Karn, though, and... words. We could play Karn and... Not activate. That's not really what I care about. All right. So if it's just Titan here, we're going to be in big trouble, because they're just going to get double Lightning Bolt off the Valakutes. Or quadruple Lightning Bolt off the Valakutes. Yeah, they can just get 2 Valakut. So... Oh, okay. Sweet. They did not have the natural Titan. They had to pack for it, and this might be a big deal, because they've got Dryad in their hand, which they can play, but without the Titan, we're in much better shape. Okay, so maybe we get to squeak this one out, because... Okay, that's also a good draw. Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good here. So we're going to get the liquid metal coating, and then just start pulling down their mana. Need an upkeep stop for them. I'm not going to have the mana to make a food here or to play a Force of Negation, so we do have to get slightly lucky. So let's see how lucky we can get. I'm happy to sit back in terms of my... Well, I could have attacked with my construct, I suppose, but that's not what this game is going to be about, so... Let's try to just avoid them top decking. Valakut's not great for... Actually, Valakut's pretty bad for us. Second Dryad? 4 mana. Fuck. Yeah, we're just dead, huh? Yeah, just dead. We did have the second Force of Negation, but there was just no way I could have enough mana for it. So... I guess if I had... No, I don't know if it was possible. I guess if I had not played the liquid metal coating, but this Force of Negation wouldn't have helped if they had a Titan. So I think we've made an alright choice here. Should be super duper dead. Yeah, there's a Valakut in there. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so died in game 1 to... Not a great matchup. Certainly better than it would be if we were playing the non-interactive version. So, let's get these Aether Gusts in here. Those are definitely good. Could board out a Wrenn and Six. Not really interested in that. No. I think for Thopter combo, I would probably want to do a little more research into what I thought would be best at the time. Okay, I think we go out Force Negation. I'll just go out for 2 forces. 2 forces for 2 Aether Gust seems fine. Yeah, if I was looking to play competitive, I would play probably some kind of Thopter Sword combo. Probably Grixis right now. Or just play Uroza. I haven't had a lot of time to play tournaments since Uroza actually got properly good. Last time I was playing Paper Magic, I think Uroza was still in that middle ground. Okay, this hand is about as good as we can get. Turn 2 Wrenn and Six, then just hold on to this Aether Gust and see where we go. I think we go Ketria Triome into the Steam Vents or Prismatic Vista for basic forest, I guess. So don't need this stop anymore, but we will yield until next end step. Shock. Okay. Search for a while. Yep. All right. Grab my Triome. Do I think I need the maximum amount of islands? Yeah. And with the amount of fetching that I'm going to do, it's just not possible to keep my life total above 18. And it's really not likely to matter against these newer versions of Titan Shift. I think they're just likely to get there. We have the Aether Gust, which is great because even if they have Veil of Summer, we're going to be able to get through against their important spell, whatever it may be. Sakura. Okay. So they have 5 mana next turn, potentially 6 if they have the Titan. Okay. I don't want to fetch a forest. I don't want to fetch a breeding pool. What I could do is, well, if I don't fetch proactively, then I don't have the ability to pick up a land. And I really want to keep that going on. Oh, what am I talking about? I know what I can do here. Okay. Don't worry about me. Just being a goof. Just get the island. We'll use the Triome for the... Okay. Nope. The goose. The next turn I could play Kinnan and have like infinite mana ready to go. It's kind of great. Thopter Combo 2, we're going to try out later on this week in a Kinnan deck, so we'll see if that works out well. So we're going to try the Teamer with white, so green, red, blue, and white, and we're also going to try Teamer black. So we'll see if we can find an 80-card Kinnan sword, Thopter Sword deck that we like. Naked Valakut, that's not my favorite thing to see. So I can't Galvanic Blast that anytime soon. The next mountain that they play, if this Dryad is in play, will trigger. I cannot get 3 artifacts particularly quickly. I think we're gonna send this guy away. Hopefully they top it. Because next turn, maybe... Well, that's tricky. It's not really good one way or the other. Play Veil of Summer. Damn it. Alright. I want to draw Mishra's Bauble, ideally. Or even Arcum's Astrolabe. Another Wrenn and Six. Well, it's not exactly what I was looking for, but I'll take it. I'm not happy about it, but I'll take it. Yeah, this could be problematic. We'll see. So we will Mystic Sanctuary, throw that on top, because it's just generally good interaction to have. But if they have Titan on this next turn, I think we're going to be in big trouble. We'll see. I cannot make a food this turn, because I fetched a blue. which could have been important next turn because I was hoping to, yeah. So I wanted to be able to make a food. How often do you activate Kinnan? Basically never, and it's always kind of awful. And I missed my Wrenn and Six tick up because I was talking about the food thing that I messed up. All right, well, slops all over the place. Yeah. Yeah, you can bolt whatever you want. Don't play another Valakut. That would be really upsetting. Oh, a fetch land. Okay, well that's just as bad. From my perspective. That's about as bad. So you know. Oh right. I forgot. The Dryad gives them the extra land drop. It's been a hot second since I've been savaged by this deck, so my bad. Oh, and we can't get our artifact count up at all. Yikes. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 mountains right now. So if we can force them to, fetch sort of when we would prefer with this Aether Gust. Okay, so we'll let this resolve. And when the Valakut triggers on the stack, we're going to gust this. And then if they have a Veil of Summer, we're going to get really messed up. Because while Veil of Summer is fantastic against cards on the stack, it is not as good against permanents. Unfortunately, they can Veil of Summer this. So if they have it, we're in huge trouble. Hey, look, they have it. We're in huge trouble. Yep. Ouch. Yep. Just completely screwed. Yeah. They had a great setup here, and then their deck just generally interacts on an axis that we're not as prepared to fight against. But at least we're playing the interactive version, so we kind of had a shot, but I did goof it up a little bit all over the place. Oh, they also have the Titan? Alright, we're just dead. Yeah. Alright, good games. Alright, so 3-2 to some misfortune. We got borked. Gust Dryad when you fetched. I don't... Well, I guess... Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, that's a different reason. Or lose the land. Well, you can't choose not to search. You can choose not to find, but you can't choose not to search. Anyway, good 3-2 with the deck. Definitely felt good with the interaction. I didn't get to play like Cryptic like at all this league, but having it in there was definitely good, and I think it won us a couple of games where people kind of conceded proactively to the Cryptic command. So this is definitely a good version of the Kinnan Uroza deck that you could play right now in Modern. We're going to be moving on to this sweet... No, not this one, but I want to play this one later this week. I love this version of this deck. It's missing a card. I gotta fix that. I don't know what's going on. But we're going to be moving on to this one. This version of Iceberg. So stick around if you are interested in seeing this deck, and if you're catching this on YouTube, you can find this deck and many others on my YouTube channel, and I stream live on Twitch, so you can check that out as well. I'm going to throw on some tunes while we get set up for the next one.
Dinner with Fred, dinner alone, watching TV alone. Alright. Dinner with Fred, dinner alone, watching TV alone. Alright. Dinner with Fred, dinner alone, watching TV alone. Unhook this already, please. I don't deserve this kind of shabby treatment. Dinner with Fred, dinner alone, watching TV alone. Alright. Dinner with Fred, dinner alone, watching TV alone. Alright.
anyone who's drifting in here from other streams, other channels, we're just in between decks right now, setting up to play some Iceberg, which is now the exclamation point deck. So if you want the list that we are about to play, please just go ahead and type exclamation point deck in the chat, and you will be given the list right away.
But tonight I say we must move forward, not backward, upward, not forward, and always whirling, whirling, whirling. Abortions for some. Abortions for all. Very well. Abortions for some. Miniature American flag for others. And always whirling. And always whirling. And always whirling. Abortions. And always whirling. Abortions for some. And always whirling. Abortions. And always whirling. For freedom. And always whirling. Abortions. And always whirling. For freedom. And always whirling. Close your eyes, Marge. Got a surprise for you. Okay, open your eyes. Hey, it's a handgun. Hey, it's a handgun. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Isn't it great? It's a handgun. Isn't it great? Point it whatever you want to die. Isn't it great? Don't have to be careful. I got a gun.